Hi, good morning, TGIF, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're gathered all together at the breakfast table or wherever you may be at this particular time. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. We're here every Friday at this time at 10 a.m. Eastern, and whatever time zone you're in, that's what time we come on each week at this time. And those of you who are brand new to the show, let me explain it to you. As we come along each week, we involve you in the show, and you can talk to us as we talk to you, sip a little coffee and have a little fun and get you involved in conversation. If you have anything particular that you want to say or you want to join in on a conversation while we're talking, we talk everything here. You can do that as well. For those of you who are, of course, regular people who come here each week, well, you know what to do. You already know the protocol. There's no use talking, but we're going to talk anyway. Here's what you ought to do. Now, first of all, we're coming to 3 places. We're coming to you all around the world, no matter where you are, wherever you may be. We're coming everywhere. And of course, we're coming from 3 different sources. We're coming from Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram Live as well. Now, those of you who are regulars, and even if you're new too, and you want to hang along and you want to invite some friends, we really appreciate that. We never turn that down. All you have to do if you're on Facebook is to tag all of your friends. Let them know that we're out here. And when they get the notification that you tag them, they'll join us too. And if they like what they see and like what they hear, they'll be involved with us each week just the same as you. If you're on YouTube, you're watching us on YouTube, we always advise you to subscribe to us. You see that button there if you're watching? It's a subscription button. It's in red. It says subscription, subscribe. Hit that button and be part of us, because when you hit that button and subscribe, you know what happens is that every time we come on live or we post a video or anything, and if you're online, you'll be notified. You'll see it right there. And all you have to do is just click that and it'll take you right there. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you so much for being along. All you have to do is just keep following us and be with us. And don't forget to tell all of your friends as well. You're coming from anywhere in the 5 boroughs of New York, I have a weather forecast for you, all right, which you don't have to worry about. For those of you who are going to indulge in conversation, we've got that coming up for you. We would like you to tell us what your weather is all about too, wherever you are. All right, even you guys in Florida, I would particularly like to know what's it like in Florida and certain parts of Florida after the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. All right, there's a big hurricane there, right? And the aftermath is on, and people are building and rebuilding and getting their lives back together. So tell us your weather forecast as we try to relay it to everyone else. Now, of course, we do the regular thing that we do here as we go along in the program. Brian Camp will be along in this particular half hour. We're going to link up with him in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, we can do that. From New York to Charlotte, North Carolina, he's going to be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Now, let me tell you that all the opinions and view on this show that we express on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, Zoom, and any other broadcast facility. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show started as we always do. What would the Coffee Hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. Oh boy, that was delicious. Now that's a good kick in the morning. It revs up the engine. It revs up the engine. Thank you so much for being along with us once again, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got a lot of things to talk about in terms of sports and anything else you want to talk about. So we want to say hi to you guys, and I'm waving to you guys. Now, some guys and gals, you know, and everybody else who watches the show, sometimes they want to sit back, relax, and just watch the show and not indulge in conversation. That's okay, as long as you're out there. Now, a lot of you may be at work at this particular time. Now, here we're on the East Coast, so we're in the working hours. All right. And a lot of people maybe started their jobs like an hour ago or 2 hours ago. And you want to do whatever you have to do to wrap it up and get set for the weekend. And you're taking that coffee break. If you're on that coffee break right now, which sometimes you get 15 minutes of it, that's what they used to do in the corporate world. I don't know what they do these days, but I'm just assuming the fact that you are getting a coffee break. Take your coffee break, stay at your desk, and relax for that 15 minutes and enjoy the show. And then when it's all over, you'll still be at your desk with your computer watching the show, and you can work at the same time. That's a thing like I call multitasking. You can do that, right? You're smart enough to do that. And if you could stay with us for the full hour, we would appreciate that. If not, whatever time you can spend with us, we really appreciate that too. But we hope that you can stay with us for the full hour. It's only an hour. You can stay with us, right? Okay. Okay. And as you already know, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of a lot of things right now. And just want to name a few of the things that's happening right now. If I can find it, I think I lost it. So I'm going to have to go back and find it. I'm going to have to go back and find it. So let me see. I've got everything. It was there. I'm talking about my script. It was there. You know, you can't work without a script. So I'm going to go back and find it. I think I know where it is. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen, and I will find it. There's, let's see. Oh, I see one. There's one. This right there it is. And there's the other. Okay, I think we have them now. We have them now. Yeah. We have them. Okay, we have them. Okay, so let me consult with that. As you already know, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of celebrating Hispanic History Month. It started in the middle of last month, and I would assume it's going to end in the middle of this month. But in the midst of it right now, we're celebrating it. A lot of people are doing that. And in that conjunction with the celebrations, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of activities going on, like outdoor things or maybe indoor things, museums and history classes and things like that. They're covering the whole 9 yards. And whatever events that you go to, celebrate them. We all celebrate them together. And so that's here. That's what we're celebrating right now, Hispanic History Month. And if you have anything to inject about that, you could talk to us about it. We'll be right here for you. Also, coming up on Monday, as you already know, it's Columbus Day. We're celebrating Columbus Day. All right, that's coming up too. That's this Monday. And not only that, we're also celebrating, in conjunction with Columbus Day on Monday, Indigenous Peoples Day. Okay, now a lot of you may not know about it. That's why I'm here to inform you about it. All right, Indigenous People Day, that promotes and protects the rights of Indigenous people around the world. And that date commemorates the first United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Populations and meetings in Geneva in 1982. Now, this year's theme is the role of Indigenous women in the preservation and transmission of traditional knowledge. So we've got a lot of things to celebrate. Hispanic History Month, we're celebrating that. Columbus Day, that's Monday, and of course, Indigenous People Day. So we've got a lot to talk about. Now, act accordingly, act accordingly. We've got our weather forecast, and as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, if you so inclined to want to speak to us, the price to pay, well, it's not necessarily a price to pay. We only ask you because we like to elevate or, communicate with other people about it, convey your weather forecast as we do. Now, those of you who are in the New York area, live in New York, don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about the weather. You don't have to give me your weather forecast because I will do it for you. I will read the weather forecast for you. You dodged the bullet. You dodged the bullet. Okay, so we're going to do that, give you the weather forecast. And let's see if we can get to it right now. Yeah, let's get to it right now. There it is. Okay. Now, what we have at the particular moment, we have, as you know, because the weather was pretty warm yesterday. It was pretty warm yesterday. And we were in the 70s yesterday, which was pretty warm prior to the past couple of days that we had that. And it's gotten warmer because when we woke up in the morning yesterday, it was a little chilly, but as the day rolled on, it became a little more, intense, you know, it's a little more warmer, and people were wearing their jackets anyway. And it's going to be the same thing today. It's going to be the same thing today. So you might want to just, you know, look at that the way it is. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, we got 66 degrees right now. That's what we have right now, 66 degrees. And it looks like a good weekend. It looks like we're going to have a real good weekend. And I'll tell you about it right now. It looks like this. We've got a lot of sunshine on the horizon today. Plenty of sunshine. We'll have a high 76 degrees. That's our high for today. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to take the jacket with you, especially if you're going to be out all day and maybe later on early in the evening, because that's when the temperature goes down. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so that jacket will come in handy for this evening because it's going to be partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies. Overnight, we'll have a low 49 degrees and winds will be northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, Saturday, it looks very, very nice. A few clouds from time to time, but much cooler. Just time to time clouds. Other than that, it's going to be a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Much cooler, and we'll have a high 59 degrees. So now that's when you have to have your jackets with you. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies, low 44, and winds will be light and variable. And Sunday, it's going to be mostly sunny. You head off to church, it's going to be mostly sunny skies. I don't see a cloud in the sky for Sunday. See, very smooth sailing for Sunday if you're on your way to church. And it's going to be sunny, high 63 degrees. You continue to wear your jacket, though. Winds will be west-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour for Sunday night. Clear skies, low 47 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the outlook for Monday, for Columbus Day and Indigenous People Day, okay, those two celebrate, even though it's not a holiday. It's not an official holiday. It's not a holiday. But there's a parade going on, I know, in certain places for Columbus Day. So I know we have one in New York, and I assume that we're going to have one this year, this Monday. Anyway, it's good for a parade, a good parade Monday. Mostly sunny skies, high 67. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Isn't that nice? Great weather. That's New Yorkers, New York weather for you. 66 degrees as we repeat that current temperature. And for those of you right now who are ready to take on the weekend, I hope that your weather is just as good as ours. I hope so. I hope so. Just as good as ours. We'll see. We'll hope so, right? And so we want to continue to say hi, just in case you're just joining us once again. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And excuse me while I indulge myself. You can indulge at the same time. Oh, that's delicious. That is nutritious. Nice jolt for the morning. Okay, so we got that weather forecast out of the way. And those of you who are going to come in and say hi to us, you know, kind of be nice and give your weather forecast to us too, no matter, because we're just kind of interested. It's not a mandatory thing, but it's something that we're kind of interested in, especially if you live like far, far away, if you're out of the country somewhere or you know, out of the state, you know, and comparing the weather that we have here in New York, and I want to compare to where it is. We're going to find out later on from Brian what the weather forecast is in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm betting it's good out there, and he's ready to take on the smoker for the weekend. Well, he'll tell us about that when he comes in a few minutes. So there you have all of those holidays coming up. And also, ladies and gentlemen, while we're at it, we have to also mention, that we're in the midst of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, all right? Women, I love women the way they do this thing. They are so proactive about what they do. And men, we should be proactive the same way. They should be a prostate cancer awareness month or some sort. And the only way we can do that is if we bond together and make it happen. Women made this happen. So that's what we're looking for. And we support that. We as men should support that too. We have wives and girlfriends and other women in our family, nieces and cousins, things like that. So we want to support them. And it doesn't, and you know, men can support this too. Men can support this just as well as women, and that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So put your shoulder to the wheel. Put your shoulder to the wheel. Okay, entertainment news. Oh boy, do I hate giving this kind of information, but it's something, this is something that I didn't know about until later on. I could have conveyed this to you last week had I known about it. So I was kind of late, and I beg your forgiveness for this. That country singer and songwriter Matt Davis passed away just last week. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't find out until later on, until after the fact. But I'm giving you the information now because a lot of you could have been like me, not knowing, but I'm telling you right now, he passed away last week. He was 78 years old, Davis was, and he became critically ill, followed by a heart surgery in Nashville. So that was it, 78 years old. And I must add that Mac Davis, not only was he a great country singer, but he was a great songwriter, as I already mentioned. And one of the great songs that he wrote for Elvis Presley, "In the Ghetto." Remember when he did that? He wrote that. And so Elvis Presley recorded, Candy Staten, soul singer, R&B singer, Candy Staten recorded. Now I think Candy recorded it before Elvis. I think Elvis covered it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. However, they were both done, and were done by other artists as well. So we tip our hats, and we say a prayer for the musical talent and the friends and family of Mr. Mac Davis, who passed away. Also, in the world of country singer Loretta Lynn passed away as well. She dies peacefully in her sleep on this past Tuesday morning. And she resided in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. That's where she passed away, in her home, and she was 90 years old. So she was another country legend. She was the daughter of a coal miner, which, by the way, she was famous for that song. She was proud to be the daughter of a coal miner. And also there was a movie done for her in that it was called Coal Miner's Daughter, which Sissy Spacek played Loretta Lynn in that movie. I think that was back in the 80s when that, I think that was well back in the 80s. But if you haven't had a chance to see that movie, check it out. I'm pretty sure you can check it out. I'm pretty sure they have the movie. You can check it out on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's there. Great movie too. I love that movie. So she passed away, and so we want to send our condolences out to her family and friends and all of her colleagues and the people who worked with her, you know, fellow entertainers who knew her and loved her. And she lived a long life, 90 years old. Had a great career too. Loretta Lynn. So thank you for that attention. Okay, you're just joining us? Did you just come in here? You just walked in, right? Okay. Are you new here? Okay, some of you are new. Okay. If you are, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, I keep repeating this because for the benefit of the people who are just waltzing in here. And by the way, I say that you can waltz in here anytime you want. You don't have to have a union card or any kind of membership or anything like that. You don't have to pay any dues. All you have to do is just walk in every Friday at this time and be part of us, because even though you're new, you're just as important as anybody else who has been here a long time for us. But yeah, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're here every Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And we hope that you stay with us, especially if you're new. Stay with us and get a hang of the show and see how it works. See how crazy we are each week as we come along and bring you all kinds of information and just have fun. Just talk to people. And speaking of talking to people, I just want to say hi to all the people in Instagram. They're there, and Facebook. Everybody's idle these days. Everybody's idle. They want to stay. That's okay. Enjoy the show that way. Enjoy the show that way. So again, we thank you for being along with us. Stay with us. There's a whole lot of things coming along, and we will be with you till the top of the hour for the whole full hour. Make sure your friends know all about it. And speaking of friends, here's one coming up right now, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. We're linking up with him. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Brian Kemp is right there, and he's ready to go.
Good morning to you and to everybody out there on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. It's a wonderful morning out here in the Queen City. 65 degrees out here. The sun is out. The sun has been out all week. It's been kind of on the chilly side. They call this Indian weather this time of the year. It's crazy because this is supposed to be the fall, but sometimes you get a couple of weeks or maybe a week of warm weather. So that's why they call it Indian weather, and for other reasons as well. But it's a nice morning. I'm gonna have a nice weekend. So I'll do a couple of things out here for the weekend, but let me get to sports. Sad news in soccer. At least 125 people was killed at a soccer match in Indonesia after police fired tear gas, causing chaotic scenes where fans was trampled and stomped upon and suffocated as well, make it one of the deadliest sports events in history. Now, this is nothing new in the soccer world. They take this sport very seriously, especially in Europe. They take this very seriously, where we've heard if there's a player that caused a country to lose a match, there was incidents where they've been either threatened or even killed, unfortunately. And it was just a horrible scene. The death toll was previously confirmed to be 174 people that were killed, but local authorities reduced the number, saying some victims were counted twice. So they had miscounted it. They had, once per person died, they counted that person again. But all of this occurred over a team's defeat. 34 people died at the stadium. 2 were police officers, and some reports included children among the casualties. So that's a very sad time right now, and prayers and thoughts go out to the families who lost, the victims of the family that lost their lives and everything. Horrible, horrible. Like I said, this is a sport. It may not be dangerous on the field, but it's high stakes if on the outcome. So let's be careful. National football news. The unaffiliated neurologist consultant involved in clearing of Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa during his concussion. He has 2 concussions in 5 days. 2 weeks ago, he was concussed on a sack. Got up, he stumbled. So later on, they said that his back had locked up. Nobody didn't really believe that he was hit so hard. If you get hit like that, you capable of saying anything. Well, he came back and played last Thursday, not last night, but last Thursday. Got sacked again. One of the tackles drilled him, hit his head onto the carpet. And if you see the scene, it was such a scary sight. His fingers was like crooked, as though he went in shock. And it was known that he had to go to the hospital. And it was known that he was in concussion. He's definitely out of this week's game for the Miami Dolphins, who happens to be playing the New York Jets. Now, the doctor who cleared him has been fired. He's been fired for a misdiagnosis. So some say it's his fault, some say it's not, but that's where we are right now. So he's been fired. He lost his job, and sadly to say. Baseball news. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is now the new single-season American League home run king. I want to repeat that. Aaron Judge is the new single-season American League home run king. Now, he is not acclaimed to be the home run single-season for both leagues. That still holds to Barry Bonds. I know there's a lot of controversy going on, but Barry Bonds on record, according to Major League Baseball, is the home run king at 73. Roger Maris Jr. had made some comments on Instagram, or was it on Twitter, and made a direct hit at Barry Bonds. And, I don't have that site, but according to what I've read when it was shown on Facebook, a lot of people were very upset with Roger Maris Jr. I understand why he was upset, but you can't go around bashing players because your father record was broken by somebody who's allegedly clean. We don't know. We don't know. We'll find out maybe down the line, and hopefully Aaron Judge would be clean and stay clean. But Aaron Judge was not charged, was not accused of anything, and that's an unfortunate thing. So right now, congratulations to Aaron Judge. Baseball fall season classics are starting today. 4 games. Check your local listings for the games today. 4 games today. Yes, 4 games starting at 12:07. First pitch. Last game is going to be first pitch is at 8:07. So you got a full day and night of Major League Playoff Baseball. Back to the NFL, former running back Herschel Walker, who is now a candidate to be the Senate for the Republican Party for Georgia. Big controversy that's going on. The Republicans do not want abortions. That's why it was a big thing that's been going on with this new law. And he's been found allegedly, got to say allegedly, that he had pregnant a woman and paid her to have an abortion. Well, Herschel Walker claims that he has no knowledge of this. But Herschel Walker in recent months has stumbling over lies and stumbling over his words of not remembering anything. I wonder if his football career has anything to do with that. But right now, his son came out this week and blasted him on social media and on the news, saying that he is not a good father. He did pregnant 4 different women and has 4 different kids by 4 different women, like I said. And he just went out on a spurt that just blasted his father and said that he's not a good father. He warned his father, the family warned his father not to run for Senate, because he's lies. Everything that he says is lies. He's been caught in a few lies. So right now, this is where he stands. His former boss and owner, the guy that used to reside at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., is called him AKA number 445, treats him like he's a son and treats him like, in the Black community, they call him, that's his master and everything. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that part. But Herschel Walker is under fire, not only by the Democrats, but he's under fire by the fellow Republicans who are easing away from him. They're easing away from him right now because they don't know what to believe. This is all for a Senate seat. Over a Senate seat. So what this tells me that these evangelicals, some of these religious folks, stand by Herschel Walker. How do you figure that? So what they're saying, telling us to the American people, that we don't care what Herschel Walker allegedly did, or if he did do it or not, we're going to stand by him over a Senate seat, just to have control over the Senate. This is where this country is going crazy. This country these politicians, I'll say it, they don't care nothing about us at all as Americans, whether you're Democrats, Republicans, Independents, as long as you could get that seat, that's all that matters. And we're so divided. No, we're not. I don't understand why this country is called the United States. It should be called the divided states, because this country is divided. Herschel Walker, I hope you're watching. I hope you are. But you need to get your act together. This thing in sports. October 7th, Georgia Tech coach John Heisman defeated Cumberland University 222-0. I'm going to read that again. Georgia Tech, coached by John Heisman, defeated Cumberland 222-0. It's the most lopsided score in history. 1922, first radio link, WNJ in Newark and WGY in Seneca link for a World Series. Wow, so they linked up together to broadcast the first World Series game. 1972, first season game at the Nassau Coliseum. That's the New York Islanders and the New York Nets. At that time, the old ABA Nets played at the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island in New York. 1984, Walter Payton passes Jim Brown as NFL's rushing leader. 1985, Linwood Woodward chosen as first woman to be part of the Harlem Globetrotters. Wow. 1989, Howard Stern's U.S. Open Source tennis match against producer Gary Dell'Abate at the Nassau Coliseum. 1989, Oakland A's Ricky Henderson steals a record 8 bases in a playoff series versus the Toronto Blue Jays. And in 2012, New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees breaks Johnny Unitas' NFL consecutive games with a touchdown at 48. That's incredible. Got some sad news in the radio world. The reason why I bring up the radio world, this happened last night. I was watching the news. It is part of sports because he used to work on the Don Iman show. Bernard McGurk had passed away. He had a lengthy illness, and if you ever listen to the Don Iman show, he used to. He was such a funny guy. He was the producer, and he used to just have everybody cracking up. One of the favorite skits that I do when he does the Cardinal O'Connor, and with the beautiful thick Irish accent, he was so funny. If you ever get a chance, go to YouTube and look up the Don Iman show with Bernard McGurk. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
You know, we talked about earlier about Aaron Judd. You know, and I'm pretty sure it went through a lot of people's mind, and so did mine. You know, he was hitting well, he was doing, and I'm just hoping that he is clean. I am hoping that he is clean, because if we find out later that he wasn't, I am going to be so disappointed. And that's going to be fairness to Bobby Bonds and to Mark McGwire. Now, I got to be honest with you. When Mark McGwire hit that home run, I was all over him. I said, nah, they forget about it. He wasn't clean. And I ragged on Bobby Bonds too. That's your friend, I know. But
Barry Bonds.
I ragged on him too. I ragged on him, and I will. And if I find out, and I hope I don't, I hope it's not true. If I ever find out that Aaron Judge wasn't clean, I'm going to rag on him too. And
also, I got my eye on Albert Pujols too. Here it is. He finds the fountain of youth now. In his last couple, he's retiring after this year, but how he suddenly has 24 home runs to end his career when he was on clearly the downside of his career. He couldn't hit for nothing. He couldn't swing the bat. Now he finished with a big bang. So, you know, our eyebrows are being raised and alert. Let's see what's going to happen.
Well, I hope it's not true. I hope that he did it on his own merit, and if he did, then it's legit. And I only wish that not just baseball, but in all of sports, you know, this thing is going on. Some players manage to keep it to themselves and not, you know, let it out, but it eventually comes out anyway, whether they're on the juice or not. But I only wish that they did it like they did the old days. They just played the game and just let, you know, if they had any super strength, God-given super strength to hold down records and things like that. Listen, Babe Ruth didn't do it. But Babe Ruth, the only problem that Babe Ruth had when he was playing baseball, his only downfall was hot dogs and beer after the game. And he just loved hot dogs. He just gobbled them and drank beer. You know, Mickey Mantle, his only downfall was, you know, going out and carousing, drinking, and, you know, and then playing the game the next day and hitting.
Yeah.
But I don't condone any of that. I don't condone anything that's unhealthy playing sports. I don't condone whether it's eating right, eating wrong, or whether it's drinking or whatever, or smoking marijuana, whatever it is. I don't condone any of that for sports figures. You know, hey, listen, after you retire and you want to lay back and kick it off, you know, but if you're playing sports, I believe that a sports person should just stay away. Just
stay away.
Just stay away from it. Play the game. And Derek Jeter, even though he wasn't really considered a home run hitter, but he did things on his own merit. I haven't heard anything about him getting an edge off a juice or anything like that. I haven't. And I'm just confident that Aaron Judge is clean. I'm confident.
Yeah.
You know.
But right now, Major League Baseball is in a bad place right now with all these players with taking these drugs, and you know they try to change the rules just to get the fans back, trying to get more runs being scored. But the only people that's going to really continue to watch baseballs are the historians, the people that's been around for many years, still going to want. I love sports, period. Yeah. So even though my team is not in it, but I have something to root against. I'm going to root against the Dodgers, you know, because I'm a Giants fan, as you know. So, I'll be tuning in with 4 games and turning into college football, and of course the pro football games on Sunday. So, yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of football game coming up, especially Thanksgiving Day. That's the day when men want to be alone.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't want to be bothered. Don't want to be touched or nothing. Yes.
Either to themselves or with other men.
Yes.
And after that, whatever. Okay, Brian, I guess we'll catch you back here next week.
I want to say a belated happy birthday to our good friend Naoto from Japan. I wished him a happy birthday last night. He responded today, which is there tonight. So hopefully he'll pop in and he'll get the message and everything.
I haven't seen him in a while. Everybody's given up on us here. This place used to be.
Well, you can't worry about that. We just work what we have.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but whatever. But we'll catch you back here next week. Hey, you're going to do the smoking thing this week?
No, I'm taking a no more smoking meat until Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to get back in shape and just get chicken and fish and some pasta. So yeah, but guarantee you I'm going to cook for some guy for this football game at the end of the month. I'm going to smoke a nice brisket, but I won't have it. And this for him, for my neighbor, and then after that for Thanksgiving, both smokers. I got 2 smokers. Both smokers are going to go on and be on for overnight.
Yeah, I love my pasta too. The only thing is now that I can't eat the regular pasta. My doctor, said that eat wheat. I don't like the wheat pasta either, so I use the veggie pastas.
Yes, I'm glad you put me on to that. That's what I have.
Yeah, because it's the regular pasta has a lot of sugar in it. You got to watch the sugar intake. And you don't have to be a diabetic or a pre-diabetic to know that. You just do it. You want to eat as healthy as you can. We all fall off the wagon once in a while and do things that we used to do, and then we go back onto them. But you don't want to make a habit out of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
Right. Enjoy. Be safe.
Take care. Bye-bye. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here every week at this time. He comes in every week at this time. And he brings us the latest, and we talk about, as you already know, Aaron Judge. And I'm really serious about that with the Aaron Judge situation. I love the guy. I love him. And I just want to be fair. I just want to be fair because when Mark McGwire hit that home run or so-called broke that record, I was angry. I was angry. I said, why? Why is he in that record book? You know, he didn't do it honestly. Bobby Bonds didn't do it honestly. You know, anybody else who takes Sammy Sosa, he didn't do it honestly. None of those guys did it honestly. You know, and I'm just hoping, you know, and just to be fair with those guys that I bashed during that time, I will do the same thing with Aaron Judge. If I ever find out that he wasn't clean and he wasn't doing the right thing, and I will, you'll hear from me. You'll hear from me. But in the meantime, we celebrate him and thank you. And by the way, you know, when he hit that home run, I don't think he ever got that ball back. Brian, if you're watching right now, I don't think he got that ball back. But the guy who caught the ball, I got to mention his name, you know, and he has every right to keep the ball. You know, he has every right to keep it because, you know, fans, they come out and and there's a lot of money at stake with this. So maybe he decided he didn't want to give it up. But as far as I know now, he didn't give it up. But his name is, I hope I don't put him on display, but he looks like he's an important guy. His name is Corey Yeomans. Corey Yeomans. And Corey Yeomans works for, he is the vice president for Fisher Investments. He's a very important man. And I'm pretty sure he's making serious money. And if he decides to keep that ball, then he's got another treasure on his hand. But look, he has the right. He doesn't want to give the ball up. If he didn't give the ball up and he doesn't want to give the ball up, we don't bash him. We don't bash him. That's his ball. And even Aaron Judge said it. Aaron Judge said it. I saw the press conference the night when he hit the home run. He says, oh, sure, I would like to have the ball back. But listen, he caught it. It's his ball, you know, and he decides what he wants to do with it, you know. Now, when Aaron Judge, of course, by the way, I was trying to locate Corey Yeomans, you know, because I wanted to get him on the show, you know, to talk to him, you know, not so much to coach him to give the ball back, but just to find out what his feelings were, where was he, and, you know, things like that. Just talk about it, you know. But I couldn't. I found him. It was just so there was no way to get in touch with him, like email or anything like that. There was nothing. It was, I don't know. You figure, you know, you can get a guy like this by email or somebody that knows him, that works with him, or one of his underlings. But hey, listen, he's the vice president of Fisher Investments. It's untouchable. Don't bother with him. Okay, so we did. All right, but it would have been nice to have him on the show too. Also, the fellow that caught the 61st home run, you know, he was one of our local guys here in New York City. As a matter of fact, I must say he went to City College. That was my alma mater, and it would have been nice to catch him. I found his Facebook page, and I tried to get in touch with him. But, you know, you ever notice that some people who occupy Facebook, they just occupy it and don't even go on it? And they're posting, the last post that they did was like 2 years ago. So when you see something like that, you know that the person hasn't been on there a long time, and, you know, there's no catching up with them, you know. And they go on like every 2 years, because I know a friend of mine who's an actress. I've known her for years. I went to her Facebook page, and she didn't get back to me until about what, a month, something like that, you know, a month, because I had no way of I lost touch with her over the years. And when I found her on Facebook, she got back to me, and now I have her email, which reminds me, I'm going to email her today and talk to her. But she doesn't go on her Facebook either. A lot of people don't. A lot of people give up Facebook altogether because of situations that we have today. I mean, there's so many things that's going on. There's so much racism, there's so much bashing, and these people are adults. We don't act like adults anymore. See, all of the adults, you see, are like 60 and 70 years old on Facebook, and I'm referring to those, I mean, there are younger people on Facebook, but the 50s and 60s and 70 years old acting like children, you know, and you get tired of it. And I understand, so some people, they don't want to get off Facebook, but what they want to do is just shut it down for a couple of months until, you know, they figure, well, it's time to go back on for a little while. And if they see the same thing that's happening over and over again, they shut it down. Or they just go there, they open it up, post what they have to post, and then shut it down again, which doesn't make any sense, because if you shut it down, then people don't see the post. I don't know. You kind of have to stagger it in a way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we're going to be with you until the top of the hour. And of course, those of you who are just joining us for the first time, please remember, ladies and gentlemen, to tag your friends. We have a few minutes left, right? If you're on Facebook, you're watching us on Facebook, we have a few minutes left. Tag your friends. Tag your friends. Let them know that we're here. Bring them in. Let them catch the last 14 minutes that we have left. You know, it wouldn't hurt. And then they'll come back again and again, maybe, you know. By the way, we're all around the world. As I said, we're on Facebook, live on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. And I wanted to make sure that all of you guys know that if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because this way, when we ever come on live, or if we post anything, you will get the first to see it. Because if you're online, of course, a notification will pop up that there's a posting there, or that we're on live, and you can go right there. You know, that's one of the benefits of subscribing to my YouTube channel, and it benefits us here on the Coffee Hour as well. So thank you guys for being along with us. Okay, I got birthdays today. Let's see who's celebrating birthdays today. We got singer, actress Toni Braxton. She's 55 years old, or I should say young, because anybody younger than me is young. Okay, and we have Simon Cowell, who is the host of American Idol. He's 63 today. Actor James Van Patten is 66 today. Cellist Yo-Yo Ma is 67 years old today. He doesn't even look it. He looks so younger. And singer Tata Vega, back in the disco days, she's 71 today. Joy Behar of The View is 80 years old. She looks great, right? She's 80 years old today, of The View. So happy birthday to Joy Behar. Former Archbishop, the late Desmond Tutu, would have been 91. The late singer Al Martino would have been 95. June Allison, actress June Allison, would have been 105. Singer, actor Alfred Drake would have been 108. And let's see, singer Vaughn Monroe would have been 111. And so would have been Joe Jones, the jazz drummer. And Andy Devine, a lot of you may remember him. If you're my age, you remember that series Wild Bill Hickok. He played the part of Jingles, and he played on a lot of great movies too. He even had episodes on The Twilight Zone. Andy Devine would have been 117 years old today. And those are all the birthdays. And if all of you guys are celebrating birthdays, who's ever celebrating, we wish you a happy birthday, and many, many more. And we want to say hello to Justin out there, who's watching us on Instagram. Good morning to you. And all of you people, and there are more, and all of you people who are idle or watching us on Facebook, we thank you so much for being along with us. And don't make it your last time. All of you, as they say, newbies. I don't even know if the young kids say that phrase anymore, because as time goes on, phrases change and they just move on. They used to say newbies. I don't know what they're saying around anymore, newbies. Because every generation of children, kids, even in my era, when I was a teenager, we had our own sayings, we had our own phrases, and no one knew what we were talking about. Sometimes our parents didn't even know what we were talking about. You know, it was like talking in code. You talk in code, and you talk over it. And we used to have what they called, when I was younger, and those of you who are my age could relate to this, we used to call slang language. Slang language. And I'll give you an example. I'm trying to think of who does that now. Who does that? I'm trying to think of a person offhand that comes to mind. Oh, here's one person that comes to mind. Snoop Dogg comes to mind when it comes to slang language. You know, when he says chisel, zizzle, zizzle, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't know what he's saying because he's in a different era. But that's like a slang language. And we used to talk slang language sort of on how he used to do that. You know, and I think it's the same thing. I think he's kind of bringing it back. I don't know. But everybody in his era knows what he's talking about. You know, me, whew, right over my head. Snoop Dogg. But yeah, so that's what we have. We call slang language. Snoop Dogg. I love Snoop Dogg. I didn't know what to think of Snoop Dogg in the early years. I didn't know what to think of him. But I warmed up to him. I got to like him. He's doing very well for himself, as you already know. He has a lot of endorsements. I only wish he delivers a case of Corona to my apartment, you know, or maybe invite me to have a Corona with him. That would be great too, Snoop Dogg. Anyway, so that's how it was back in those days. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the point where we have to give you all of those movies that we talked about. Now, a lot of you are going to be doing things on the weekend. A lot of you are going to soak up what's left of the warm weather. Possibly, if you have warm weather where you are, us where we are, forget about it. But those of you who are still able to do more outdoor activities, you can do that. And a lot of people want to catch up on movies. Now, a good time to catch up on movies is when the weather gets really cold and you want to stay home and the snow is on the ground. Can you imagine? Just imagine this. You look out your window. Sometimes the snow is so bright that it lights up your room, right? If you have your windows, your shades up, it lights up the room. The snow is like there. It's so bright. It lights up the reflection of the sun, hits the snow and backfires to your apartment or your window, and it lights up your room. Just picture that. And it's cold as ice out there. That's the time you want to catch up on movies. That's the time you want to catch up on movies. So I have a few movies from Turner Classic that I think you're going to like. 2 movies, as a matter of fact. These are all I have. These are only my picks. There are more out there. Here's one. From 1948, The Kissing Bandit, starring Frank Sinatra, which Frank Sinatra didn't like this movie. When he did it, he didn't like the movie, you know. But why don't you watch it and enjoy it and see if you like it or not? And maybe you want to prove Frank Sinatra wrong. That was a good movie. Check it out. It's on Turner Classic Movies. It's on tonight, Friday night, at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Every time I give you times, it's always Eastern here. This way you can act accordingly on your end. Turner Classic Movie, Friday at 6:15 p.m. That's tonight on Turner Classic Movies, A Kissing Bandit night from 1948. We also have another one, and this is the final one of the day, Sounder from 1972, starring Paul Winfield and Cicely Tyson. It's a great movie. And it's on Turner Classic Movies, and it's on Sunday, the following day at 6 p.m. Eastern. I love this movie. I'm gonna watch it myself. It's a great movie. I'm gonna watch both movies. Kissing Bandit. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I saw the movie, but I kind of like, you know how you see a movie and you haven't seen it for so long, and then you think back and say, you know something, I saw the movie, but I have to refresh myself with this movie because there's certain things I don't remember. And it's the same thing with The Kissing Bandit. So I have to go back and watch that again. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Now, by the way, all of these movies that I talked to you about, I already told you that these movies are only my picks. They're my picks for this week, for your weekend. All right. There are more. So all you have to do is go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll through the program guide. Look through the program guide and you will see there are more movies that you may like. Now, you ever notice that I only give you movies that you could see on the weekends? But check out the whole guide and look through the week, and you might find something that you like there. So check it out. They're great. They're great movies. And if you don't get a chance to watch these movies or the movies that you see, you could schedule your DVR and watch them on a later time, And while you're at it, you can go on Movies on Demand and watch some of the free movies there, movies of the past. They go back to 1930s and 40s and 50s and 60s and so forth and so on. There may be movies there that you haven't seen in a long time and you want to just check it out. Or maybe movies that you've seen 1,000 times and you say, oh, I want to see it again. You ever have some of those movies you could watch 1,000 times and not get tired of it? I do. Saturday Night Fever is one of them. Yeah. So, go ahead and check it out. Also, while you're on demand, go there and check out pay-per-view. Now, if you don't want to go to the movie theaters, you can go to pay-per-view, You make it a weekend with your family. Sit back, relax, and watch some movies. You know how some families say, it's movie night here in our house. Let this be and go on pay-per-view and see what they have available. The latest movies, what are about $6 or $7 as opposed to what? Almost $20 in a theater, not including the popcorn, peanuts, and Cracker Jack, or including your date, right? Now you have to pay through the nose. But this, of course, and I'm not trying to discourage you from going to a movie theater because it's always nice to have the ambiance of other people around and watch those movies on the big screen. But if you prefer to watch them at home, because they come out not too far after they're released in the movies, they come out on TV, on pay-per-view, and you can watch them then, see what's available there. And of course, all the networks are there. You like Lifetime movies? Well, you got a lot to watch because they have a few of the available movies that are on Lifetime that you get to see on Lifetime, and sometimes you might miss them and they're right there. You never know, so check it out. Also, sports. If you like me, you know me, you guys know me, right? I'm into wrestling, so if I miss a wrestling match, depending on what network is on, I can always go back the following day because they post the following day on demand, and I could watch that whole wrestling match all over again, and in some cases without commercials. Sometimes when you're watching them on live TV, you have to deal with the commercials, but sometimes they do them without the commercials. And sometimes they have the commercials, so you have to deal with it, But the good news is that you can watch whatever you missed. See, technology has been good to us in certain ways, and we go back in time because we never had this before. When was the last time, or back in the 1950s, when we had the black and white TV with rabbit ears, right? You couldn't rewind and catch, like if you missed a spot, you could rewind, right? And go back to the area. You know how you can do that. You didn't have that back in those days. Anyway, let me go back to the movies that I told you about, ladies and gentlemen. And these are movies, I want to repeat them again for the weekend, my picks of the weekend. Great movies. The Kissing Bandit from 1948 with Frank Sinatra. That's on tonight, Friday night, on Turner Classic Movies, TCM. And that's at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Sounder. And that's the following day. And you can remember this because each one of these movies are at the 6 o'clock hour. One is Friday and the other one is Sunday. All right, skip Saturday. But Sounder from 1972. Check that out. Paul Winfield, Cicely Tyson. And that's on Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And they're all great movies. And if you don't like these movies, and I'm sure you do, you're going to like them. Because Turner Classic Movies have been turning out some great movies. The other day, I was watching a lot of the classics that they never showed on TV. Never showed. And I got to see them. So that's a good thing about Turner Classic Movies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's over. We did it. We got through it. We got through it. Now we turn the page to another chapter, which is called The Weekend. But we'll be back here on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, you and I also can be in conversation. Other than that, I will be back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, from 10 to 11 Eastern time, for more of the coffee hour. Brian Camp also will be with me with sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. So ladies and gentlemen, until then, have a great day and a great weekend, and I will see you all back here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.